Hi team, let's get started. So let's continue the logical replication part. So actually yesterday we have seen how to enable a logical replication and how we can add an existing table, a new table to the existing publication and subscription. And we have seen how we can add a column in a replication. If a table is in replication, how we can add a column. So basically we have to disable the subscription and we can enable it once we add a column into it. And then we have seen if a table is added without a primary key, and we have seen we have an issue with the replica identity. So to avoid that, we can enable full replica identity for temporary fixed purpose, but it's not a permanent solution because of the performance issue. So we have seen how we can add replication without a primary key, right? So that scenario we have seen, and then we have seen how we can apply a row filter, right? So if you want to only filter a specific records as a part of replication, that we can do with the row filter option, which is a 15 new version. Okay. And now we can see one scenario, one advanced feature in version 15 called alter subscription skip utility. Okay. So which is feasible for um, to skip any transactions. Okay. If you have any conflicts in terms of any so so primary key or unique key violations. Okay, if we have any issues, we can just use this alter subscription skip and we can enable it so that we can see actually how we can do that. Okay, so yeah, so basically yesterday wherever we have left, we can just continue. Database is source DB. So these are our so these are our publications and this is our subscriptions, right? Our target database is target DB. And let's check the subscriptions. Okay, so this is the one which we created yesterday. Let me drop it and we can create it again because it was in disable mode and it's not created properly yesterday. I want to create it with one option called disable on error. Okay, to get this up, to get this new feature from 50. Okay, I'm just dropping the publication name. Let me check what are the tables we have. I think this is the one which we have doing. Okay, let me do select short form AG application tables. So yeah, so this is the table we have. Let me check in the target side if we have the same records. Okay, we have only 101 and 103. Okay, so let me truncate this. Okay, so we have a table in the source called rep tab2, and so if you remember, we have, let me do /t. So we haven't created any constraint here, right? So here, let me see if I have created any constraint. Tab 2. So here I have unique key constraint for this particular column, right? So this is my unique constraint, which is enabled, but here I don't have any unique key constraint. Since logical replication, your target is in read, right? So you may have different constraints sometimes, right? So in this situation, you want to skip this transaction because of some reasons. Okay, if you want to skip it, we can do that. So for this, okay, let me add this first table into publication. Create publication name for table. This is my table. Okay, if you see, select short from publication table. So this table is a part of this publication, right? So now let's go to the standby, and I have already created the same table structure, but only thing is here we have enabled unique constraint, right, for this column. Now if any duplicates, actually this particular table will not allow duplicates in the target, but it will allow in the source, right? And now let me add the subscription here. My sub 2, as usual, connection details we have to pass. Host equal to 168.18 is my primary or source DB, and database name is source DB. Okay, and user is rep user, right? And password, since I have added as a MD5, I also need to pass my password. Okay, and then publication. I want to register with this publication too. Okay, and here I have to create with an option called disable on error equal to true. So basically this is default uh, false. Okay, we have to enable. This is a new option which we have in 15 version. So if you add this option, what happens if you face any constraint issue or something, so this option will automatically disable your subscription, and then a DB can take a look and they can take an action whether they want to skip this transaction if not needed. Okay, so similarly like disable. Similarly in Golden Gate few times based on some applications, let me see, okay, password equal to. So few times based on your application functionality, okay, you may have to skip the transaction, right? Rep user, not a distant link, would not connect to publisher, connection to the server, 192.168.18, port 5. There is no hpa.conf. Let me check the IPs is correct or not. This is 1.18. And let me go to PG data, pghpa.conf. It's already there, but 92.168. Okay, my bad. So actually, I think our username is, this is the one. Okay, we have to use this user. I think I'm using the other user which is not exist. Okay, log user. And this is my username and password. Okay, so I've created the subscription. So this is my subscription name. Okay, and it is enabled right now. Okay, which means you can directly check your table records. Tab 2. It is replicated whatever there in the source. This is nothing. Now, since I have a constraint in the target side, but I don't have this particular constraint in the source side. Okay, so now let me try to do a duplicate and see what happens. This is my database and this is my table. Okay, I'm trying to insert a record which is a duplicate value. We'll try to insert already existing value. Since this is a source, okay, it is allowed because we don't have any constraint created for this. So it allows the duplicate, but in the target we have so we have a constraint. So because of that, it may fail actually. So if you see, we have a view called PG underscore subscription, right? So here if you see, because of that parameter, we may end up with subscription disable. Okay, so let me check subscription name and subscription disable or enable. We can check from PG underscore subscription. If you see here, subscription 1 is enabled, but subscription 2 is disabled. Why it is disabled? Because of this option which we have, right? So we it is trying to insert the same record because of the unique key constraint, it got failed. So you can just check the alert log for clear clarification. If you see here, logical replication table, synchronization worker for subscription, right? This is the table we have added and it is added successfully. Now, duplicate key value violates unique constraint. So we have a unique constraint here and this record, whatever we are trying to insert, this key is already exist. Okay. And what it is telling, your subscription is disabled because of an error, right? So since we added that option, which is disable on error, okay, by default, usually that is false. Okay. If we enable that, your entire subscription will be disabled. And based on this issue, you can able to identify now, for example, this issue I can ignore. I don't want this transaction to be occur in the target. So I can skip this transaction with the alter subscription skip. So here, if you see, it has generated a LSN number. So based on this LSN number, you can able to skip the transaction with the LSN number. Okay. So how we can do, we can see now. So for example, right now it is disabled right now, right? And if you also see here, so this is enabled and this is disabled, which is false because of that error. So now I want to skip this particular transaction. Okay, how I can skip? Alter subscription, skip. Okay, let me see what options I have. Alter subscription -help. So I want to skip this transaction. See here, alter subscription name, skip. And here we have to specify the LSN number, okay, to skip that particular transaction. So what I will do, alter subscription, subscription name is my subscription 2, and I'm going to skip with LSN number, right? So what is the LSN number in my alert log? This is the LSN number. Only this particular, see, basically whatever the transaction which you are performing, only that for that particular transaction generates a separate LSN number. So we can skip that. Okay. And now you can just enable this subscription. If you want, you can just cross check with still it is disabled, right? Now I want to enable this subscription actually. So how I can do, alter subscription, my subscription to enable. Now if you see, this is enabled, right? And we are skipping that particular transaction from the table. Okay, so here you don't get any duplicate values. This is how you can skip. So based on the LSN number, you can skip that particular transaction with alter subscription skip utility. So this feature they have added in version 15. So this is how you can, and as discussed in 15, they also added a new parameter called stat subscription. This is the thing which they added. If you found any errors, okay, for now in the subscription 2, we have found only one error, which is a unique key constraint, right? So that one error is added here. Okay. And in the first subscription, we have seen yesterday 13 errors. Like this, it will also give you the how many errors has been encountered for under this subscription. You can go and see with this new view which they added in version 15. And this is one example how we can use this option, alter subscription skip option. Now maybe we can
What is this? One question. What is the sync error count here?
So basically, if you have any records which is probably which is not in sync, and if you encounter that issue, maybe it will do here. Okay, so I think that is the sync error count which I'm thinking. But yeah, so probably this we will check what exactly this is. Okay.
Okay.
It is an integer value only. So probably we similarly like this, if we have any sync error, probably it should update. But exactly in which scenario it will update, probably I will check and update exactly on which scenarios this will update. Okay, so and it should also update the timestamp as well. Maybe for this apply error, I think it is not applying any timestamp with that current date actually. If it is updating this, it should be good. Actually, this new view has introduced in 15. So yeah, this will check and update exactly on which scenario it will update sync error. Okay, and yeah, and we have seen row filter and this alter subscription skip as well, right? Now we also have one more option called column based list, right? So if you don't want to enable replication with all columns, I want only a specific columns in a table. Okay, for example, okay, let me create a new table. And here I'm just giving some data types and columns. This is my primary key and EMP name. I'm just trying to insert few records. Okay, so now as a part of my replication, I don't want to, replicate the salary data. I want to hide this column. I want only these two columns as a part of replication, because in logical replication, you may have different structure in both source and target, right? So here what I will do is I will try to create the same table in the target, but I don't want to replicate salary details. I just want to replicate only these two details, the EMP and thing. And now what I can do, I can just add into any publication. Actually, I have two publications. I can add in any one of the publication. Sorry. Maybe I can add in the second publication. Alter publication, publication name, add table, replication table 3. Okay, so this I'm going to add as a part of my publication, right? So, okay, so while adding the publication, we have to specify the column list. Let me drop this publication. Let me remove this publication from, let me remove this table from publication. For this, I need help command because alter publication drop, not the publication. I want to drop only a specific table. Table only, table name. Okay, so alter publication, my pub to drop table only. Okay, so now let me check. Select star from PG to publication, so tables. So in my pub2, I have only rep2. Right now, I don't have rep3. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same command, but I want only two columns. I don't want all the columns. So here I can specify, where is this table? I want employee number and I want employee name. I don't want salary to be replicated. So I will just, while adding this publication only, we have to specify how many columns, or you want a full table means you don't need to specify. If you want to replicate only specific columns, then we have to add like this. Okay, now if you see, it is only as a part of replication, only these two columns has been added. Now let's go and you know, so refresh the publication. Sorry, subscription. Okay, alter subscription. Whether you can add a new subscription or you can use the existing subscription. Okay. Now you can see the data should be replicated. Rep tab 3. So in Rep tab 3, you don't see the salary details, right? Because we have added only these two columns. So like this also you can do. This option, this feature is from version 50. So previously we don't have this option. This is one feature they added, which is column list in the replication. Okay, now we will see how we can add the entire schema and all the objects in the replication, and even we'll see whether sequence is also getting replicated or not. Okay, so for this, let me check. I should have a script called restore.sql. So basically what this script do, it creates a database called DVD rental, and it creates a database called DVD rental, and it creates a schema as well called sales. Okay, under this schema, it creates all these objects. It creates the types, it creates the functions, it creates tables. Okay, and okay, these are all objects which it creates. So as we know, create and alter statements will not part of your application. We have to do this DDL statements at the both the sides. So it also creates a sequence for each table. Okay, so we'll see how we can add this entire schema as a part of the replication. So it also creates so many objects. Okay, I have like almost so many tables and indexes, procedure, function, triggers, everything, all kind of objects I have in the script. So let me go and execute this script directly. As we know, we can use -i option to import, like at the rate we use in Oracle, right? Similarly, we have to use -i to import this entire SQL script in the database. Okay, so currently I'm in DVD database. Let me see what tables. Okay, we have all the objects in the set_path equals sales schema, right? So I'm going to sales schema and I can just see the list of tables and list of sequences, list of functions. Okay, so all these objects I have, right? Now similarly, let me go and do same script. I should also have in the target. Verify. I'm going to create a database and then I'm going to create the schema. Under this schema, I'm going to create all these objects, same like source, whatever the script which I'm using, I'm also doing the same in the target. Restore.sql. So I also have, okay, let me connect to set_path. So these are the tables which I have 15, and even in the source also I have 15, right? So same script I have imported in the target. Now I want to add this entire schema and I want all objects to be part of replication, right? So let me create a publication. Since this is a separate database, we cannot use the existing publication. If you see here, I don't have any publication in the DVD rental database. Previously, we used to do on the source DB database, right? Here I'm going to create a new publication and we'll see how we can add the entire schema. Okay, so I already have all the objects and this is my schema. I want to add this entire schema as a part of replication. So again, let me check the help command, how we can add the entire schema. Create publication. We already know for all tables, if you want to enable, this will come. But if you give the entire schema, you will get all the objects. So here we have to specify tables in the schema, right? So let me do create publication Maybe I will give publication 3. Okay. Or tables in schema. Schema name is sales, right? Oh, wall level is insufficient. We already set it to logical. Okay. In the target, I think we haven't set. This is very important. If we're not giving this wall level to logical, then it will not replicate properly. Okay, so let me go to this simple.conf file. Let me check wall level. It's not enabled basically. We have to enable this as a logical at both the sides. And even this is needed for bidirectional. If you want to enable bidirectional, then better we can also enable these parameters. Okay. So let me restart the cluster. So let me connect to DVD rental and let me drop this publication and let me add it again because of the parameter. Okay, so create publication name in schema sales, which means as a part of the publication, we have the entire schema now. So if you see, select start from PG publication tables. If you see, we have this all, tables as a part of the replication, right? So let me do one thing. Set such underscore or equal to sales. Let's take any of the table. Okay, for example, select start from order. Okay. For now, I don't have any any records. So let me try to insert a record. But before inserting record, let me check if I have any sequence for this table. If you see here, I have these many columns: actor ID, first name, last name, okay, and last update. So for actor ID, if you see here, I'm using a sequence, which is next val of actor. This is my sequence name, basically. So it is using a sequence. Whenever you are inserting, we can make a use of this sequence and we can insert the record in this particular column, right? So let's check what are the sequences we have. This is the sequences which is related to actor table. Okay, so let's see if I want to insert, maybe I can just leave this for sequence to be updated a unique value. Before that, I want to check what is the current sequence number and what is the next sequence value. So what is the next? /d pg underscore sequence. So I don't see any sequence name, right? So here I have rel ID. Okay, what I can do, I can just try to convert this. Okay, for this sequence number, it is incrementing to 1 and this is the maximum value. Okay, and this is the starting value. If I want to find what is the next sequence value for this sequence, I can just use next value and just give the sequence name. Okay, currently should be 200, but this is the next value 201. So if we insert any record from this table, so it should pick the it should pick the next value, right? Which is 201. So it has to insert this record in this table, right? Actor table. So let me insert a record and see. Insert into actor. I'm not inserting actor ID. Okay. So first name, last name, and last update. I'll just leave it to sequence. Okay, it should pick automatically a sequence value. What is the next value in this record? Okay. And I'm going to give any name, maybe it's the first name and last name. And this value I can just use now, which is the current time. Okay, because this is a timestamp. I have inserted a record in this table. So let's see. Okay, I have created a record and this 202. Okay, what is the next value? It has automatically allocated the next value 202 for this table because I'm using sequence. Now let's come to the target side. Okay, we did at the target side directly. Let me truncate this. I want to do at the source side. What it is telling? It is it has some dependencies. Okay. Now I don't have any tables. Okay, let me do that in the source side instead. So in the source side, let me copy the same insert and let me do that. Okay, I have this record in the source. I have a table actor and I have inserted record. And for actor, there is a column called actor ID. This actor ID, I am using sequence. What is the next sequence value? And it is inserting here. Okay. Under the target side, let me go and create a subscription, right? So because we haven't created any subscription right now, PSA DRS, there is no subscription. Now I'm going to create a subscription. My sub 3. As usual, connection details, we have to pass 192.168 1.80 and our DB name is DVD rental, the source side, and user we can use our logical replication user. And which publication we have to, we have to enable whatever we have created at the source, right? You are following, right? So there is no
Yes.
publication. There is no publication created yet. Oh, yes. Still, I haven't created any publication for this. Okay, so let me create a publication and then we can try to insert a record. Create publication, mypub3 for table. We already created publication, right? Then why it is not showing here?
I think we created on the target, right? We are doing the reverse replication or bidirectional.
Yeah, maybe we have created on the target, I believe. Correct. So let me see if I have any /trp. Yeah, maybe here we have created. Let me draw this because publication name. Yeah. So let me do the same command, whatever we have did here. By mistake, I'm doing everything in the target. Okay, so what command we use? This is the command which we used for the publication, right? So let me add this. Now let me see. Okay, so here I have, created the publication at the source side right now, and as a part of your replication, I have the entire schema called sales, right? So if you see, it should replicate all the tables here. Okay. Now, as usual, let me insert a record for this table called actor. Right now, there is no. Let me check what is a sequence value. So it should pick automatically in the next value of the sequence, right? Our sequence name is actor something is there. Let me paste on that sequence. Okay, this will automatically do it. Let me take this insert statement what we have did previously, and we can just insert similar way. Okay, I have inserted a record, and let's add a subscription here. As usual, we have to give the connection details. 192.168.1.18. TV name equal to TVD render. So even if we want to replicate from here to here also we can do, but just to avoid the confusion, so we can just do the similarly like how we are doing previously. The password equal to log rep, and so publication which I'm going to register is this one, whatever we have created in the source. This is my publication name. I'm going to register this publication to this subscription. The subscription has been created. And now we can see so even the sequence value is also getting replicated as a part of your replication. So let's try to insert one more record and see. So it is replicating now. This is how we can add the entire schema in the replication, and your sequence value will also get replicated as a part of your replication. Okay. So this is not a new feature. This is, I think, schema. I think they added from 12, I guess, the entire schema. You can use the entire schema from version 12. Okay. So this is how we can add. And obviously, whenever you do any DDL changes, like create alter, you definitely has to add in the target as well, because of the DDL, it will not replicate until version 17. We should take care, but 17 onwards, we can enable both DDL and DML operations as well. Okay. Now probably we can also have one more, security as a part of your replication. For example, okay, I have this table, right? So let's start from actor. So now, as we know, by default, it will replicate inserts, updates, and deletes and truncate, right? Now, if you want to restrict that, you don't want delete operations to be replicated at the target side, even though if you do at the source side, you don't want delete operations to be performed at the target side. If you want to restrict that delete operation should not replicate as a part of this replication. So what you can do, you want to do only inserts and updates. Okay, what you can do, you can have a separate publication for that, and you can do that. Maybe what I can do, alter publication name, set publish equal to, I can just use insert and update. Okay, I want to restrict only these two as a part of my replication. Like this, we can alter the publication. Now, if you see /drp, the delete operations is false and your truncate is also false. Okay, when you do delete and truncate, it will not apply those changes in the target. So let's do a delete operation. So delete from actor where ID equal to 203. Okay, I have performed delete operation in the source, but this delete operations will not captured by this publication, and it will not do in the target. You see in the target still you have this record. Okay, like this also you can able to restrict at the publication side. You can filter like you want inserts or you want allow updates or delete. So if you do these two, and if you don't want, if you not mention this delete and truncate, both will be disabled. And if you want truncate also to be allowed, you can just add here truncate as well. And only delete if you want to restrict. You can just skip this value. By default, like 4 value will be enabled. You can mention whatever you want here in the publish option, so that values will be replicated. Okay. So this is the one more option you have if you want to restrict that few of the things which you don't want to be replicated. Okay. So this is how you can restrict. And so with this, I think all the cases we have seen, and yesterday also I have already provided the documentation for logical replication. Please do practice from your side and let me know if you have any questions. And from next session, we may start the security class or extension. So from Monday, okay. And let's see how we can remove the, I want to disable the, and I want to remove the publication subscription, how I can do that. So what is the way that we have to do? So always if you want to disable or delete the subscriptions and publications, always good thing is we have to do from the target side. First you have to drop the subscription and then you have to drop the publication. Okay. So this is how you can do. So if you first don't delete the publication, first you have to delete the subscription, then only you can delete the publication. If you want to deinstall this application, okay, that is how you can do. First do the subscription and then you can do the publication. Okay, so yeah, that's it I have for today. Probably since I don't have version 16, so I cannot show you how we can enable it bidirectional, but I can provide the documentation. It's very simple and straightforward. From version 16 only, it will support the bidirectional. Okay. Yeah. So I can provide the documentation, same steps. The only thing is you have to create your publication in the source, and at the target you have to create your subscription, and at the target also you have to create the publication, new publication, and you have to register in the subscription. Both sides you should have a publication and subscription, the bidirectional. And only the extra step is you have to enable the replica identity as full, as in the bidirectional. When you want to allow both replication in the bidirectional from version 16, you try to install version 16 and you can also do the practical part, same steps. Okay. There is no much difference. Only you have to do is you have to add both publication and subscription at the both the sides, and you have to enable replica identity full. That's it. Your bidirectional will work actually. So yeah, that maybe I will provide the documentation. You please go through it and you can enable that bidirectional as well. It's very simple and straightforward from version 16. Yeah, so I think that's it. I have today's short session. Probably we can catch up on Monday on security classes and extensions classes. Okay.
One question with this logical replication. Suppose the table has triggers on it. Does it automatically fire triggers for replication? Like
yes.
insert update triggers.
Yes,
in Golden Gate, I think default it suppresses the triggers.
No, here it will do because if you want to do based on the trigger, if you do any inserts and deletes, okay, it will automatically apply changes in the table, and definitely it also does on the target side. So those changes as a part of your trigger.
No, if the trigger exists on the target side. Yeah, there is no trigger on the source, but there is a trigger on the target for the table. Okay. Yeah, in that case, I think we may get conflicts. If we don't have the trigger in the source and the target, we may have conflicts. So it should have the same, right? So, yeah. So even that will not replicate in that case. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then probably we can catch up on Monday on the remaining topics. Yeah. Thanks then.